Alright, so I'm guessing there's not much left in this demo, so we'll proceed to try to get up our, nope, that's not it. Try to get up our street smarts before we have to meet with the matchmaker. So we'll do that, spend some more time walking the dark corridors. Should be up to 40 now, I'm guessing. 40. We do it 2 more times, we should be good. Let's hope we actually get around to it, though. A new day dawns. For once, you're allowed to sleep in undisturbed. The unusual fact brings your sleepy mind to concerned wakefulness. This is immediately followed by the thought that today is the matchmaker's breakfast, which is definitely enough to chase away any last traces of sleepiness. Before you have to face that intimidating old woman, you at least have the prospect of potential good luck gifts this morning. Really? Oh no. This probably isn't going to go well, but whatever. We'll see what happens. Now, if only you knew why you were being allowed to sleep in. But once you open your eyes and get up, the answer soon becomes apparent. Jasper's been busily arranging your small pile of presents in order to make them look most appealing. Good morning, Lady Sora. We have just enough time for you to open your presents before we need to get ready for the breakfast. It's hard to resist the lure of a pile of beautifully wrapped and arranged presents, many with accompanying letters and notes. You nod eagerly and Jasper starts to hand you your presents. This is from Hammond of Hisei. Showing no signs of distaste, even as you know Hammond is not Jasper's favorite delegate on the Isle, he hands you a small wrapped package. Inside is an old gold coin, strung on a simple chain like a pendant. Wow, we got some fancy script here. Let's see if I can actually read this. Glitter. Despite the rumors about pirates, I've never actually been one for much superstition myself. I like to trust in my skill and the skill of my men rather than something as hard to predict as luck. My dad gave me this coin when I went on a ship for the first time, and it's been in our family a long time. It would make sure I'd stay on the lucky side of things. Wow. I'm reading this terribly, but it's a little hard to read. I don't know that I believe it, but if anyone deserves some good luck, it's you, Glitter. So, I hope he was right, and it's true. Now you glitter and are gold, so you better be twice as careful, in case some bad thieving pirate steals you away. Hammond. Aw, Hammond. Such a romantic guy. Gotta love him. This is from Princess Annalie of Skuld. Oh, we should've gotten Annalie something. She's always nice. Ah, well. Gingerly, like afraid of what dangerous thing might be inside, Jasper carefully hands you a package that's surprisingly heavy for its size. You unwrap it to find a highly sharpened letter opener that really might just be a mini sword? According to the butler, men's of scowly, heavily disapproving. Not only can I have a weapon, not only can I not have a weapon even, but I can't even give you one. So I'll have to settle for this. May you at least get to stab the letters of anyone who upsets you. Anna. There's a small frown in Jasper's brow as he hands you the next present. Uh-oh. I found this in the pile with the rest of them this morning. I have no idea who sent it or where it came from. The letter's unsigned, but I don't believe either the letter or the gift pose a danger. Well, that's rather mysterious. Who could this be from? With this mysterious introduction, Jasper hands you the present and note, which is clearly already opened, probably making sure it wasn't already an assassination attempt in disguise. Inside is an old letter, well preserved. It doesn't seem that interesting on the surface, until you skim down to see who signed it. Then your jaw nearly drops. It is one of Princess Katya's letters. Really? That's weird. You hurry to read the note that came with it. Signed someone anonymously. It seems to us that you are not the sort of person who enjoys a little mystery. Oh, let me try that again. It seems to us that you are the sort of person who enjoys a little mystery, and a few secrets in your life. After all, when you are very good at manipulating people, there's also very little that generally surprises you. So here is our gift. A mystery, a surprise, with our compliments. Cheers. So our gift, so this is from multiple people. My guess, if I had to say, it's probably the, I don't really know what they're called, but like the representatives, which includes like Grand Duke Woodley and, what's her name? The woman in the chair? Where does it say? Oh man. Here we go. I think it's from these guys, the chaperones, they call them. I don't know, that's just my suspicion. Because we seem to be in their good graces so far anyway. At least for now. With the enthusiastic well wishes of Princess Penelope of Welland. Jasper hands you a box of expensive chocolates, wrapped with a pretty green ribbon and a flower struck through. My dearest friend, I am ever so glad that I have met you, and you have been kind enough to befriend me. I wish for you all the good things God and the world have to offer. My present isn't very special, but I hope you'll enjoy it, and know that it contains all my good wishes. I just know that everyone will be as impressed by you as I am, and we will stay friends forever. All my best, Penelope. Oh wow. I will say, even though it's a bit difficult to read sometimes with the script, I do like how there's unique scripts for the different characters. Like Hammond's was a bit more, like scribbly and like what you'd expect from a pirate. It's a bit rough, less care and precision with the script. While Princess Penelope, it's very fine, very detailed, very proper. So that's kind of cool. This is from Princess Cordelia of Hise. Jasper gives you a small wrapped box. Inside you find a gorgeous painted silk fan. I hope you find some use for my enclosed gift. I put some thought into finding something useful. I'm grateful to have met you here. Truthfully, it has been some time since I made a new acquaintance. I related to you as well as I do to you. I hope that we will continue to get to know one another and might someday become friends. Thank you for the kindness you have shown to me. I wish you all the best of luck this week. Princess Cordelia, Princess of Hise. Now that we are finished with the business of presents, I'm sorry, Lady Sora, but you must really get ready for breakfast. It will not do to be late or appear at less than your best. Thanks to Jasper's careful time management, you arrived at the Matchmaker's breakfast both presentable and exactly on time, just like a wizard. Jasper warned you that despite her stated goal of the breakfast, seeing all the delegates interacting in your natural habitat, she also liked to see how you responded under pressure and to new situations, so she was sure to be able to do something unpredictable. This year, apparently, it was with placards. Generally, the fancy dinners had rotating assigned seating, but breakfast was taken in your room, or was a generally casual affair. Not today. And certainly the seating arrangements weren't made randomly or out of some sense of fairness. No, with a sinking feeling, as you finally find your name and who is sitting next to you, you suspect the Matchmaker's placed as many people who didn't get along together as she could. So that means you're probably gonna be next to the girl with the silver hair. No, actually not. You find yourself have been placed in a corner seat between Lord Blaine and Prince Jared. Yeah, I forgot about them, but they don't really like us either, right? Neither of whom have arrived yet. You sink into your isolated seat and wonder if that is a blessing or a curse. You spend the first 10 minutes of the breakfast awkwardly sitting by yourself in silence. You can't even start eating, as that would be rude without your proper seat partners present. Yes, you succeeded at being courteous and full of manners. And of course, you would never think of being so mannerless. You just barely managed to stop yourself from twitching and hitting the table with your impatient fingers. Surely the Matchmaker wouldn't look too favorably upon such displays. Or you probably would. To your total embarrassment, soon the pressures of being forced to stare at and smell all the delicious food around you proves to be too much for your stomach, and it loudly grumbles in protest of stupid etiquette. Oh no! You consider trying to bluff your way through the awkwardness, but in the end, you're too self-conscious about it and end up blushing deeply and giving yourself away. Thankfully, the looks you receive are generally sympathetic and not judgmental. Finally, his every step a heavy stomp of disapproval, a deep scowl etched into his face. Prince Jared finally made his appearance. Yes, he's arrived. Oh man. With a look of annoyance, he surveyed the room until finally finding the empty place with his name next to you and stomping over and sinking heavily into the seat. After giving you a look like you were a particularly slimy toad, he was not asked to share breakfast with, Prince Jared settles himself in, not bothering to greet you. I take it he's not a morning person, to say the least. Yeah, I'll just do the first one. Not a morning person, Your Highness? Prince Jared merely grunts in your general direction, which you take to be some sort of agreement. That's the best as we could expect anyway. Turning from you, Prince Jared downs an entire steaming cup of bitter chai in one shot. Only after this does some sort of recognition and wakefulness enter his face. Finally, something resembling awake, he studies you assessingly. I can't believe they expect me to have an appetite while stuck looking at you all morning. You could put in some effort not to look repulsive, you know. Wow, what an asshole. Scowling with the face of the righteous eavesdropper. Not that she had to try hard. Prince Jared might as well have announced it to the whole room, so loud was his pronouncement. From down and across the table, Princess Annalie takes careful aim and chucks a large hard scone directly for Prince Jared's head. Oh no. Insult my pretty Sora again, you rude cur who is an insult to the fleas on the mangiest of dogs, and I will throw something much sharper next time. No matter how much you might deserve it, you can't really allow the princess to create an international incident on your behalf. You attempt to catch the scone before it can hit its intended target, but you aren't quick or accurate enough. Not like Anna, whose aim proves pretty perfect as the scone slams right into Prince Jared's forehead, bounces off and lands into a bowl of soup you've been very politely been wanting to eat. You attempt to ignore the small splashes of soup and Prince Jared's outraged noises. You rack your brain, but you can't think of anything to say to smooth over the moment, so the room descends into a heavy, awkward silence, ignoring, of course, the cursing, angry mutters of the prince next to you. It is only then, completely oblivious to the tense moment he literally walked into, that your other seat partner, Lord Blaine, sachets his way into the room. Wow. What perfect timing. His confident strut turns to dismay when he surveys the room and realizes that the only empty seat is the one between you and the wall. Scowling, he makes his way to the seat and sits, his nose pinched like you smell. I can't believe I have to sit next to you. If I couldn't sit next to my fair Princess Annalie, I could at least sit next to someone less... I wouldn't worry about him, Glitter. It's the nature of fool's gold, not to want to sit next to the real thing. It's not a very flattering comparison. If you were going to be fussy about where you sat, Lord Blaine, maybe you should have shown up earlier than 15 minutes late. While normally that is sound advice, Prince Jared, this morning it would not have mattered as the seating was assigned. If you really want, I don't mind switching with you, Lord Blaine. I find the company of Lady Sora delightful. She's a swell, sweet lady, and I'd be happy to sit with her. That's very kind of you, Earl Emmett. It's assigned seating. Think of the chaos if we just decide to start swishing. Yeah, she doesn't want to break the rules, of course. Suddenly, you're the center of all conversation and everyone's attention. It's rare that the large group of delegates were quiet when gathered together, but they were quiet, almost silent now. Honestly, it's not that unusual for you to draw people's attention, so you are able to handle the scrutiny with some amount of social grace. Options, let's see. The only thing I'm interested in is eating the food. I promise not to bite. I think I'm gonna go with the third option. That sounds nice. Because of course he has to make his dramatic entrance, and we'll kind of poke fun at him for that. Blaine looks pleased by the prospect, right up until he remembers who the words came from. Then with a slight scowl and a heavy sigh of the put upon, he finally takes a seat. Now that Blaine has finally taken a seat, you're finally allowed to eat some of the delicious food in front of you. Of course, you're still required to make polite conversation with the two men who aren't feeling particularly polite towards you or the world. Thankfully, you're skilled enough conversationalists that the glares and grunts they use to punctuate your monologues is still enough to preserve the illusion that a conversation is happening. You have managed to eat enough food that your stomach is no longer protesting, and carry on a conversation polite and boring enough that everyone has moved on from watching like you and your seat partners were the meal's entertainment. In fact, things have settled into something resembling boring normality. You should have known that anything named in the honor of the Matchmaker would never be allowed to stay so. And here she comes. And I'm guessing this is where things go from bad to worse. A sharp voice cuts through all the chatter, even from completely across the room, from where its owner was sitting at the head of the table. Lady Sora. Your brain racing at this unexpected development, you nonetheless manage to answer without missing a beat. Yes, Lady Matchmaker? This soft-hearted fool next to me just expressed pity for you. She says that I was cruel to you in my seating arrangement this morning. What do you think, Lady Sora? Do you have any complaints about my cruelty? Suddenly, every eye in the room is on you. Oh, wow. Yeah, we're not going to agree with that. Skillfully deflect the question. I guess we'll demur charmingly. That sounds like the best option here. I'm pleased that you thought of me at all, Lady Matchmaker. I am, of course, perfectly happy. To everyone's surprise, the Matchmaker breaks out into inscrutable laughter. You are unexpectedly proving very interesting, Lady Sora. I can see why you've become the subject of so much interest. It is rare that I am wrong about people, but I find myself looking forward to your second interview this week. Ah, alright. Maybe things won't go so bad after all. You can practically feel the collective jaws of everyone in the room dropping. For a moment there, the Matchmaker sounded almost complimentary about you. But you have a sinking feeling that this has been another one of her little tests, rather than something sincere. And already you can see the effects, as next to you, Lord Blaine sends you a particularly bitter look. You should have known to be wary when the bitterness turned to satisfaction, but there's a very small amount of the time between this change and the action it inspired, which is his accidentally bumping a carafe of strongly colored fruit juice in your direction. You aren't able to react fast enough to do anything, but sit and watch as the dark juice comes hurtling towards you. No, her pretty dress. Covered in the dark, sticky liquid, your dress is about to be stained in not very artistic splatters of deep purple. Deep purple, okay. You stare down at your splattered and stained dress in horror, unsure of what to do. What an asshole this guy is. Like, really? Thankfully, one of the nearby servants takes charge, quickly giving orders to remedy the situation. Even with the emergency spot cleaning from one of the serving girls, it's become clear that you're going to have to excuse yourself from breakfast early in order to change and to not have any chance of saving your dress from being permanently ruined. Wow. You briefly consider some sort of retribution against Lord Blaine, but decide against it. Just because he behaved badly doesn't mean that you have to do the same. You sigh, but make your way to the door. Well, I guess it lets us get out of that breakfast early, so whatever. You make your way back to your room, where Rhea looks at you in horror. Oh, my Lady Sora. When I heard you'd be needing me urgently, I never imagined this. Well, it's really not that bad considering some of the other things that could have happened. Why, you poor thing, and your poor dress. Between her exclamations of horror and her reassurances to both you and to your dress that she would make you right again, Rhea manages to deal with everything neatly. Using her hard work and some impressive solution in a basin, she even manages to get all the stains out. You sigh and throw yourself back against your bed. It has been quite the morning. It's hard to believe this week has hardly begun. And not just your week, your day too has just begun. You can't hide in your room forever, you still have other things to do. Alright. Let's get back to improving our, not that. Or, where is it? Can hardly read this. There we go. Spending some time with Hammond, get our stats up, a new day's dawned. Jasper walks up with a large stack of paper, some black invitation stationery, and a determined glint in his eyes. Oh yeah, we're planning an event, I forgot. Lady Sora, it's time for us to plan what event you intend to host this week and send out the invitations. Considering the heavy delegate schedule this week, I've prepared 3 options that will not put undue strain on you, your guests, or the staff. Please consider carefully and pick the event you feel best suited to host. So let's see, an Envu tournament? I don't even know what that is, to be honest. What is an Envu tournament? You know what? I'm gonna look this up real quick. Envu tournament, is that a real thing? Probably is, I'm just not really educated in this. Well, there's no results. I'm guessing it's some kind of sport. Some kind of sport. A midnight picnic. A girls' night. Well, considering I have no idea what this is, a midnight picnic sounds like it could be fun. So let's try that. The midnight picnic involves eating under the stars. It will require good social skills to keep your guests entertained. Of course, the staff would be happy to provide you with food and blankets, and the grounds are lovely at night. In order to avoid any hints of scandal, a large guest list would be best. Oh, that's cool. Sure, let's do it. If you wish, you could purchase some additional things that wouldn't normally be available for your picnic. Right. So, I feel like we should just go ahead and spend our money, so let's do the hot wine. Yes. Oh, we can do more than one. How much money do we have? 125. Okay, so we could just go for broke on this. Because honestly, I don't think we have much use for money after this week's over, since it's just the demo. Very well. Now you must reconsider your guest list. Remember that people will accept and reject your invitation based on their feelings towards you, and towards the type of event you choose to host. You can invite 10 people. Alright, so definitely Hammond. Yep. We'll do Annalie, because she'll certainly come. Lyle's on good terms with us, and we'll also do his sister Penelope, because they're always entertaining. 6 more. Jared? No. Zared? I'm not really feeling Zared. Cordelia we could do. Gisette, we haven't really spoken too much. So they probably won't accept. Gisette's the one that doesn't like us, I think. Jaslyn, we could... Yeah, we'll include the Grand Duke. Why not? That should be interesting. Emmett's on good terms with us. We'll do that. I don't know. You guys can pick some options in chat since I'm still deciding. Let's see, what do you guys pick so far? Someone said Hammond, which we already did. I think that's it so far. Yeah, but keep up the suggestions if you want. I'm still going through it at this time. Oh, we could do our maids. Well, I don't know if that really helps us in regards to the matchmaker, because I don't think she'd approve of it probably. Let me take a look at our list, see who we're on good terms with. So we did these 3. We're not doing... we could do Zared. He kind of likes us. Kind of have a good friendship and romance. Maybe. We got barely anything with him. Like, we really don't interact with him too much. Claremont we saw, like, in the beginning. I haven't seen from him since. Or did Emmett. Penelope as well. We could try Cordelia. If I don't think I picked her yet. Let's do it. Princess Cordelia. Invite Zared. Yeah, I'm figuring we should give him a shot, because we're kind of on good terms with him. Sounds as good as any of the others anyway. There, we did it. So we just have to pick 2 more. Yeah, I'll invite Syra. Oh, wait, what's this? Inviting your maid is an unusual choice, and it'll be noticed. Why is that? We'll do it. We'll see what happens anyway. Could be interesting, maybe. I'm not doing these 2. Jaslyn is one of the chaperones, right? I might try the Countess, Yvette, if she'll come, because we're kind of on good terms with her, and she might be interesting to say. I don't know if she'll accept it, though, but we'll give it a shot and see what happens. Sure. I mean, I don't know if she'll accept it, but whatever. Playing your event has taken all morning. Oh well. Everyone has been trying to be on their best behavior for the matchmaker this week, and the strain of all that effort is starting to show. Unfortunately for you, the dinner seating arrangements have put you quite literally in the middle of the results of that mess. I can't believe you suggested that seriously, sir. It is not as if I claimed it was my preference, but one's duty. After all, what is going on here? If they were so set on arguing with one another about this, you wish they would have at least had some consideration for those around them. Why think of all the feelings they could be hurting arguing so loudly? But you can't seriously suggest that it would be appropriate for our next king to wed someone so foreign. Why, half the women here are barbarians, or turned so strange they would make no man a proper wife, let alone a proper queen. But our duty here is to further the interests of our nations, and certainly the matchmaker did not seem inclined to grant your earlier request to only be matched with one of your own kind. How did you know about that? Half the delegates know about it. The matchmaker's not exactly quiet, and not particularly tactful either. When she's annoyed, which you seem to have done. Well, it is not as if I am ashamed of my request. I have my future heirs and children to think of. There is a saying among the young men of Ireland, Consider yourself lucky if your duty leads you to a bride with more wits than a chicken, and better looks than a pig, and give thanks to God if you get both. You may be very well tempting God to punish your hubris by declaring yourself above your duty. God would not have granted me my position as one of his favored and all my blessings if he did not think I was worthy. And the favored of God must keep themselves clean of inferior influences. Wow, this is going to be a heated discussion. And you, Lady Sora, I know you have had the misfortune to be raised in that viper's nest they call the inner court of Corval, but even you must agree that it's best stays with like. I wouldn't be so quick to dismiss her. I understand she's an intimate of Arlen's former Princess Constance, whose duty led her to wed Corval's prince. Perhaps she has learned from her shining example, and has some understanding of duty to her country and her future husband. And despite your very best efforts to ignore the two men who, to this point, have been very happy to ignore and literally talk over you, like you didn't exist, you have been dragged into this ridiculous debate. They both stare at you, pale faces red with wine-flushed intent, their eyes expectant. Oh wow. Oh wow. Avoid being forced to respond by causing a distraction. Agree with them both. Agree with the delegate from Arland or Wellen. Give them both a piece of your mind. Say something non-committal. I like the last option. Down your goblet of wine and hope the problem will be solved by itself. Or at least your suffering will be dulled. I'm going to try to diplomatically solve it. It's probably asking for too much. It's probably going to backfire, but hey, let's see. You do your best to gently convince them that such prejudice, rather hidden behind their claims of natural God-given superiority, or behind a fatalistic acceptance of their duty, is unfair and harmful. Unfortunately, you are not able to convince them, and they both scowl at you in disapproval. Hey, at least you made an effort to change their minds and hopefully have some positive impact on the world in the summit. That counts for something, doesn't it? Maybe. Released and free from their terrible dinner at last, you return to your room. Jasper takes one look at you and can tell something has happened. Lady Sora, is something wrong? People are terrible. Yes, they are. Nothing that's in wine won't fix, what am I saying? For some things, there's not enough wine. Something stronger than juice. No, nothing. There was a little interesting discussion at dinner. It just grew animated. I'm a little tired. I'm relieved to hear that's nothing serious, Lady Sora. Are you ready for your evening plans, or shall I cancel them in favor of a night in? It's alright. I could use some interesting distractions anyway. Alright. So I think we're pretty good with activities. We'll just have to do some more wandering around the castle. I think we might have it maxed, or not maxed out, but at least what we need.